Mill-Unjoni Ewropea llum laqgħa tal-Viċi President tal-Kummissjoni Ewropea Josep Borrell ma' Segretarju tal-Istat Amerikan Anthony Blinken f'Washington. Il-membri parlamentari Ewropej jaqblu fuq iktar enerġija fil-bini, iktar sigurtà fl-użu tal-intelliġenza artifiċjali u liġi ġdida favur il-ġurnalisti u l-mezzi tax-xandir. Il-Viċi President tal-Kummissjoni Ewropea Josep Borrell iltaqa' ma' Segretarju tal-Istat Amerikan Anthony Blinken f'Washington. Iż-żewġ temi ewlenin matul il-laqgħa kienu l-invażjoni Russa fl-Ukrajna u l-gwerra fil-Lvant Nofsani b'enfasi fuq is-sitwazzjoni f'Gaza.
We're grateful for the partnership, the strength of that partnership, and the fact that on so many of the critical issues that we have to face, there's extraordinary convergence between the United States and the European Union. I know we'll have an opportunity today to discuss our unrelenting support for Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression, the crisis in the Middle East and in Gaza, some challenges closer to home in the Western Balkans, and as well the common approach that we put together when it comes to relations with China. These and so many other issues are front and center in the work that the United States and the EU are doing day in and day out, and it's very good to have you here to continue that work. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my dear friend, Secretary of State, for receiving me and my delegation. I very much appreciate our regular dialogue between the US and the European Union, especially in those extraordinarily difficult times. The world is becoming darker and darker. That's what I told to the Security Council yesterday. And the development around us made our security inseparable and only proved the need for the US and EU to work together. We are facing an aggressive Russia who will not stop, an assertive China who will become more and more assertive, military takeovers in Sahel. I know that you have a delegation in Niger today. Criminal gangs challenging the authorities in Haiti. Once again, you are playing an important role in this part of the world. And Central and South America in big trouble. Ukraine. Ukraine is our biggest and immediate worry for us Europeans and for you too, for our common security. And the Russian aggressor will not stop. We have to stop it. You are doing a lot. We are doing a lot. Both, I think we can do still more in order to support the Ukrainians in this very challenging time. And then this worrisome thing, what's happening in Gaza. Thank you very much for your efforts in order to try to diminish the humanitarian sufferances of the people in Gaza. We deplore the current situation, but we have to do more than just deplore, on which we both agree. But I think that we need to act. The very survival of the population in Gaza is at the stake today. And once again, thank you for your personal efforts. And then we need to clear the humanitarian access through sea, by air. That's good. That's not enough. You cannot replace hundreds of trucks by sending parachutes. The most important thing is to open the borders by land and continue working or start working on the two-state solution that both of us, US and EU, endorse. It is the only way for a lasting peace. I hope that we can join our efforts in order to make that a reality. Thank you very much, Secretary of State.
Il-membri parlamentari Ewropej qablu li mill-2030 il-bini l-ġdid fil-pajjiżi tal-Unjoni Ewropea għandu jkun mingħajr l-emissjonijiet u li għandhom jittieħdu miżuri li jnaqsu l-kontijiet tal-enerġija u jiġġieldu t-tibdil fil-klima. Il-bini jikkontribwixxi għal 36% tal-emissjonijiet tal-gassijiet serra fl-Unjoni Ewropea. Għal daqstant f'dawn il-jiem il-membri parlamentari Ewropej adottaw pjani diġà maqbula mal-Kunsill biex jgħinu jnaqsu l-konsum tal-enerġija u l-emissjonijiet tal-gassijiet serra mis-settur tal-bini. Ir-reviżjoni proposta tad-direttiva dwar ir-rendiment tal-bini fl-użu tal-enerġija għandha lan li sal-2030 tnaqqas b'mod sostanzjali l-emissjonijiet ta' gassijiet serra u l-konsum tal-enerġija fis-settur tal-bini tal-Unjoni Ewropea u li sal-2050 tagħmilha newtrali għall-klima. Għandha wkoll lan li jsiru rinnovazzjonijiet fuq aktar bini bla rendiment u ttejjeb it-tixrid tal-informazzjoni. Il-miri għat tnaqqis tal-emissjonijiet huma li mill-2030 il-bini ġdid kollu għandu jkun mingħajr emissjonijiet. Mill-2028 bini ġdid li jkun okkupat minn awtoritajiet pubbliċi jew li jkun proprjetà tagħhom għandu jkun mingħajr emissjonijiet. Fejn jidħol bini residenzjali, l-istati membri se jkollhom jistabbilixxu miżuri biex jiżguraw tnaqqis fl-enerġija primarja medja użata ta' mill-anqas 16% sal-2030 u mill-inqas 20 sa 22% sal-2035. Kif spjega r-rapporter tad-direttiva tal-kwalità tal-bini Kirin Kuffè, il-bini agrikolu u l-bini ta' wirt kulturali jistgħu jiġu esklużi mir-regoli l-ġodda filwaqt li l-pajjiżi tal-Unjoni Ewropea jistgħu jiddeċiedu li jeskludu wkoll bini protett għal raġunijiet arkitettoniċi u storiċi.
With this plan, we add an essential pillar to the EU's decarbonisation plans, and we begin the long journey towards reducing 36% of Europe's CO2 emissions. The EPBD also has potential to help bring down energy bills, to address the root causes of energy poverty and to deliver high-quality local jobs across the European economy. In the Parliament, the EPP, S&D, Renew, the Left and the Greens European Free Alliance supported the deal, and I am glad that a large majority of MEPs got behind this. So as a brief summary, what we have negotiated is an update to an existing law, also called the EPBD. But this update, however, specifically charts a course for the EU to achieve a climate-neutral building stock by the year 2050. Buildings are responsible for 40% of Europe's energy consumption and, as I said, 36% of the CO2 emissions. And as many of you know, Europe was plagued into an exceptionally difficult energy crisis while the negotiations on this file were ongoing. Energy poverty rates jumped during the crisis. Over 41 million Europeans, or 9.3% of the population, were unable to keep their homes adequately warm in 2022, and that was up from 6.9% in 2021. So these high fuel bills are a real imposition on households. And the impact of this crisis and the increase in energy poverty concentrated the minds of negotiators. We wanted to ensure that the misery and suffering brought about by the energy crisis could not be repeated. And so our focus was delivering energy efficiency and saving measures to continuously reduce energy bills and energy import dependency. So what will the EPBD do? It will modernise Europe's building stock by setting so-called minimum energy performance standards, or MEPs, they require the buildings that waste the most energy to be gradually improved over time. And to support building owners with these improvements and protect vulnerable households and tenants, financing measures, information services and social safeguards are put in place before the standards are applied. And today the MEPs voted in favour of the trilogue deal, the agreement that was reached last December. And that agreement prioritises renovation funding for vulnerable groups, it enhances renter protections, and it sets a clear pathway towards achieving a more efficient building stock in Europe. Some of the wins for the people of Europe: for the first time, we have introduced these minimum energy performance standards, and they will apply to buildings in the non-residential sector, such as office buildings or hospitals. Member States may apply MEPs in the residential sector, amongst other measures to reduce the average energy use of the national residential building stock.
Skont il-Kummissjoni Ewropea, il-bini fl-Unjoni Ewropea u responsabbli għal 40% tal-konsum tal-enerġija tagħna u 36% tal-emissjonijiet ta' gassijiet serra. Fi stadju ta' kumitat, il-membri parlamentari Ewropej qablu ma' ftehim proviżorju dwar l-att tal-intelliġenza artifiċjali li assigura s-sigurtà u li jara li jimxi ma' drittijiet fundamentali. L-an ta' dan kollu hu li tkun protetta d-demokrazija, is-saltna ta' dritt u s-sostenibilità ambjentali quddiem l-isfidi l-ġodda tal-intelliġenza artifiċjali.
The EU now has an AI office to govern the most powerful AI models. The US and the UK have established equivalent structures, and many more will follow suit. It is imperative to connect these initiatives into a strategic triangle and then into a network. And that will allow us to stay on top of any unforeseen developments in AI that might require a coordinated response. We need to put our entire diplomatic and political clout in promoting the European model of AI governance. This is a strategic priority for the next mandate, alongside reducing our strategic dependencies and increase our resilience, because the future is AI-fueled, and we must continue to shape it.
The way I see it is that we're laying out a common European vision for the future of this technology, one where AI is more democratic and safe, but also, I would hope so, more competitive.
Il-ftehim jipprojbixxi ċertu applikazzjonijiet tal-intelliġenza artifiċjali li jeddu drittijiet taċ-ċittadini bħall-użu ta' sistemi biometriċi u li l-intelliġenza artifiċjali timmanipula l-imġiba umana. Il-Parlament Ewropew approva liġi ġdida biex tipproteġi l-ġurnalisti u l-medja tal-Unjoni Ewropea minn intħil politiku jew ekonomiku. L-istati membri se jkunu obbligati jipproteġu l-indipendenza tal-medja u se jiġu projbiti l-forom kollha ta' intħil f'deċiżjonijiet editorjali. L-awtoritajiet se jkunu projbiti milli jġelu lill-ġurnalisti u lill-edituri jiżvelaw is-sorsi tagħhom. Blan ta' iktar trasparenza u sabiex il-pubbliku jkun jista' jkun jaf min jikkontrolla l-medja u x'interessi jistgħu jinfluwenzaw ir-rapportaġġ, il-mezzi kollha tal-aħbarijiet u tal-ġrajiet kurrenti u irrispettivament mid-daqs tagħhom se jkollhom jippubblikaw informazzjoni dwar is-sidien tagħhom, inkluż jekk ikunu direttament jew indirettament proprjetà tal-Istat. Il-medja se jkollha tirrapporta wkoll dwar fondi minn riklamar tal-Istat u dwar appoġġ finanzjarju mill-Istat, inkluż minn pajjiżi mhux tal-Unjoni Ewropea. Il-fondi pubbliċi għal-medja jew pjattaformi online se jkollhom jiġu allokati permezz ta' kriterji pubbliċi proporzjonati u mhux diskriminatorji. L-informazzjoni dwar in-nefqa riklamar tal-Istat se tkun pubblika, inkluż l-ammont annwali totali u l-ammont tal-kull mezz tal-medja. Il-membri parlamentari Ewropej raw li jinkludu mekkaniżmu għal prevenzjoni ta' pjattaformi online kbar ħafna bħal Facebook jew Instagram milli jħassru l-kontenut ta' medja indipendenti. Dawn il-pjattaformi se jkollhom l-ewwel jagħmlu distinzjoni bejn il-medja indipendenti u sorsi mhux indipendenti. Il-medja tiġi notifikata meta l-pjattaforma jkollha l-intenzjoni li tħassar kontenut u jkollha sa 24 siegħa biex twieġeb u biss wara tweġiba li l-pjattaforma tista' tħassar il-kontenut.